gonna double do this, and I'm gonna share all the things in my heart and just hope that this will help bring you guys some more peace and some more calm amidst all the chaos that's going on. So you'll see my eyes go up and down because I'm talking here, my notes are here, kind of going all over the place. But thank you. Go ahead, if you're on Facebook, because you have the option, and I guess on Zoom you can chat as well. I'll pull my chat up so I can see here. And go ahead and tell me who you are, where you're from, kind of how you're doing. What's going on, what's in your world, what's up for you, how are you feeling with all of the stuff happening in the world, and what can I do to help you? If there's something specific where you're like, oh, I'm thinking about this, this is coming up for me. Let's see if I can get my face. Oh, I can do my comments on my computer. Okay, I'm gonna pull my comments up on the computer so I can watch the Facebook comments at the same time so that I can then reply to you and answer your questions. Oh, that's fun to see myself looking sideways. Adventure, I've never done a duel at the same time before, so this is fun. Okay, so go ahead and give me anything you got, and I'll stick this one over here. Any comments? Tell me where you're from. Tell me what kind of things are going on with you, how you're feeling with everything that's going on up here in the world. Oh, now I'm hearing myself. Okay, I need to mute my sound on the computer. There we go. Now I don't hear me twice. Hey, Chris, nice to see you. Okay, so I'm just going to share the things in my heart, and those who hop on later, we're just going to be able to let them go back and listen and find the things that they want. So my hope here, oh, that's weird. I have a delay. I'm recording here, and down here I'm like 2 seconds behind, so my eye is catching me moving weirdly on the side, so that's fun. I'm gonna hide that video just so my eyes don't go crazy on me. Thank you guys for your patience. Appreciate it. All right. So Chris, how are you guys doing? How's your family doing with everything that's going on in the world? Are you at peace with it? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening? Are you finding yourself in fear or anxiety, or is any of that coming up for you guys? So thank you. Yeah, any comments in the bottom would be super awesome. Okay, and go ahead and grab a notebook because I talk pretty quick and I have a lot of things that I want to share with you guys. And so I'm going to say it all pretty fast. And if you need something repeated or if you've got a question, then go ahead and write the question in the comments. And I'll try to glance back and forth on those and make sure that I cover the questions that you guys have, and I can go back and read them later as well and help with that kind of stuff. Okay, so my hope today is to just share things that are in my heart, the things that have worked for me, the things that I've learned over the years that have helped me and my family to be able to be strong amidst the chaos and the panic, and whether that be a chaos that's happening in your heart or a chaos in your family, or in this case, this worldwide chaos that we are now in. And I'm actually just going to talk to Facebook people. Maybe I'll look at Zoom people every now and then because Facebook's more like interactive right now online. We've got some Zoom, but not much. So here we go. Hey, Dan, nice to see you. Go ahead and leave a comment how you're doing with the pandemic, with the lockdown, with everything that's going on. I don't know if you guys felt earthquakes up in Idaho. I know we had earthquakes here in Utah. That's where I'm at. I'm in Utah. So we felt the earthquake. We were about an hour and a half away from it, so it wasn't quite as intense as it was for those of you down in like Utah County and South Salt Lake. So tell us what that was like for you. That's interesting also to see. We can read that in the comments. Okay, so all of you, wherever you're from, I invite you for just a moment to join me in prayer, because I really believe that whenever we invite God into our space, then he's there and the Spirit can testify and help to us to get exactly what we need in that moment. So whatever your faith tradition, I invite you to just take a moment, take a deep breath, and pray with me, okay? Dear Father, we are so grateful for this day. We're grateful to be gathered here together as thy children, and we're grateful for the opportunity to share the things in our heart and the things that are working for us, that we be able to strengthen and lift one another, and that the Spirit be present here, that it will be with each one of us and with our families to give us guidance and hope, and to be able to receive the answers that we need specifically for where we're at this time and in this moment. Thank you for the technology and the platforms and all the things that make it possible for us to connect, even though we are so far apart. And we pray that we will turn our hearts to thee. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so basics. Okay, when you first wake up, I will just lay in bed and I close my eyes and I put one hand on my heart and one hand like over my belly button. Just take some really deep breaths. and try to think of 5 things that you're grateful for. You can say it out loud, great, if somebody's sleeping and you can't whisper it or say it in your head. But just take that moment to really center yourself in, wow, I am so grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I have breath. I'm grateful that I have a bed to sleep in. If you got to sleep in a bed last night, and if you didn't, you've been evacuated somewhere in the world, I'm grateful that I have somewhere to stay. I'm grateful that I woke up today. I'm grateful that I have this breath in this moment to continue forward. So that's number 1. Give the gift of presence, the gift of presence to yourself, the gift of presence to your family. When there's so many things going around, and especially with our kids being home and stuff, we've got all these different things happening in the world, right? And it's so easy for our mind to be like, oh, I'm worried about this, and I'm worried about this, and worried about this, and these people need food, and these people need this, and I need to teach this subject, and all the different things. It's easy to be scattered. So take a moment to be present. If you find yourself when you're not being present, then just take some more deep breaths. Let me see if I can hide the comments on my phone because they're distracting me. Maybe. Oh, okay, I can't figure it out. So they're just gonna be up there and it's gonna be fine. So I just want you to just take a breath, be present in what you're doing and where you're at. If you have a child or someone in your space, and I know they say social distancing, and we are, but I still hug my children. Hopefully you do too, because they still need to feel that love and they need to feel that security and that safety. So little tip on when you hug someone, if you hug on the right side, so like I would hug, I don't know if I'm backwards to you or if I'm forwards. Anyways, this is my right hand. So you put it like you're over your heart, right? And so my heart would be to your heart. And when I hug someone, I hold them just a little bit tighter and I put my hands on their back and just imagine that love is flowing from me to them and that it's this energy and this feeling of peace and of comfort, and that I can give that to them no matter what's going on in the world and what's going on in their life, that they can have this feeling of peace and of love. So be 100% present with your kids, whether you're reading them a story, try to be really there, ask them questions about it, engage them. If you're hugging someone, give them those hugs, be 100% there and allow that love to flow from you and that peace. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about different things that I do to help me keep that peace and to return to it when those anxieties and those things pop up, but also to be able to have that, to spread that to others. So as we talk about this, hopefully you're taking notes. If you just hopped on, grab a notebook, grab a paper. I talk really fast. You can go back and watch it again if you want later. But to be able to really have this place of peace, the peace in your heart, the peace that you feel in your soul, no matter what's going on, the peace that radiates from you, and the peace that the others feel in your presence. And hopefully be able to create that atmosphere of peace in your home, and as well as in your community and in the world, in whatever aspect you have an influence, to be able to make your influence be one of peace and of love and of joy, and to be able to spread that rather than spreading this fear that's going on. So we have, that was later on my notes, but we're just gonna do it right now. So this coronavirus, yeah, it's a thing and it's big and it's spreading and it's a pandemic, but it's also a virus and it's spreading across the world. Do you know what's spreading worse than coronavirus? It's fear. Fear and doubt and worry. And that is one of the biggest things that is gonna take our economy down. It's gonna take our world down if we allow this fear to be what's inside of us. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna mute. I'm not muted there, okay. Sorry, that was a ding as we hopped on Zoom. So hey, over there on Zoom, thank you for hopping on. Go ahead, make sure that you are muted. Let me make sure that I can make sure everyone's muted over there. And so you can hear me. We're also on Facebook, so if you have anybody who wants to hop on Facebook or on Zoom, feel free to share the link with them. So I'm going between here and my notes, so my eyes will go all over the place, but hopefully you can grab your notebook and you'll still be able to get whatever goodness is coming. Hey, over there, nice to see you. Okay, so we just talked about the gift of presence, being 100% present with people when you're giving your kids a hug or reading them a story or connecting with anyone, just really, really trying to be present. And I know I'm present with you, but I feel like I'm still kind of scattered because I'm doing it in 2 places at once. So bear with me, but thank you. Okay, what brings you joy? Make a list. Take a piece of paper, write, this brings me joy, and make a list of things that bring you joy. Simple things. Things that can be like going for walks brings me joy, or being in nature, or happy music. All these things bring me joy. And then find a way to incorporate those into your day. Even if it's just for a couple minutes here and a couple minutes there, those things will give you a boost in your spirit and a boost in just having that confidence and that strength to keep going, even when things kind of seem crazy around you. So that's really super important. Okay, so if this is hard for you and you're like, oh, okay, I'm feeling like maybe I don't feel like I can connect with God. I don't feel like I have any inspiration. I don't feel like I have a vision. I don't feel like I can see where this is going. I don't feel like I can see hope and joy for the future. Maybe you're feeling like, I don't even know what to say. I can't even verbalize what's happening inside of me. I can't get the words out. I just feel like it's stuck, or I can't express my feelings. I just feel weighed and I feel heavy. Oh, I was going to grab me a whiteboard and I didn't. Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of paper and I'm going to draw this for you because I need you to get this concept. Okay, I forgot my whiteboard. Sorry about that. We are going to use a clipboard. Okay, so marker. So hopefully it will be dark enough. Okay. So there's all these things. Do you feel like you can't think straight? Like you feel like your head's kind of in this cloud and you're like, oh, I can't even think of what's going on here, right? Okay, so emotion is energy in motion. It's actually the energetic being within you. You have this electrical system in you and it's just part of you. So that's why when you go into a room and somebody's feeling stressed out or they're feeling worried, you are going to know this. You're going to be like, oh, I can feel it. I'm out of here. Or, no, you need to go talk to someone and you need to help them because maybe they're having a hard day. So whatever it is that's going on, you can kind of sense it. It's just part of who we are as humans. We have this ability to kind of read other people and know what's going on, right? So it's important that we manage what's going on inside of us, because if we don't manage what's going inside of us, then that therefore spreads to other people, right? Okay, so if you have your person, let's draw like a gingerbread person here. Okay, here's your person. Okay, got a person. See your person? Do people see my person? Okay, so you got your person and you're all of a sudden you're like, okay, I feel worried. I heard about this thing and it's freaking me out. So you get this little bit of worry and it sits itself down inside of you. And you get some fear and you get concerned about this and concerned about this. And your emotions can actually cause physical pain. If you get a tummy ache or if you have a headache or if you're having aches and pains and things like this can be a sign that there's some emotions inside of you that need to go somewhere. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I'm causing chaos in the place in which I'm at, because that chaos is what's being introduced into you. And it's really, really tricky, right? So you feel all this and you don't know what to do with it. And people will say, oh, I'm just going to let my emotions settle, or we'll just let it, this will pass. Okay, so what happens is it goes in and it passes and it settles down in here and it causes you emotional and physical problems that are really there unless you deal with these emotions. So we can't just say, okay, this earthquake happened and this pandemic is happening and I'm worried about this, but I'm just going to let it pass and hope it goes away. Because if you just hope it goes away, what it does is it settles inside of you and eventually it's going to come back up. Whether that comes back up in anger at your child or whether that comes back up at frustration or more worry or concern or not being able to get a new job or keep your job or whatever's happening, because all these emotions are built up, right? So we need to take them and we need to get them up and out of you. And so we can do that with a couple different ways. If you get the emotion out and then you can feel totally clear and your brain will be clear, you'll be able to think straight, your eyes will be clear, you'll be able to see the future, you'll be able to see possibilities and hope and strength, you'll be able to speak what's going on inside of you, you'll be able to share that with people around you and be able to ask for what you need, be open to receiving what it is. All these things will come together and they'll allow you to heal and to move past whatever chaos is happening in your life, whether it be this one or in future chaos that you're going through. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't miss anything I wanted to show you right there. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, so there's a few ways that I love to help with this. When I'm feeling something is off, I'm like, oh, what is off? I don't even know, right? If you know the feeling, you can grab a paper and I would just set a timer. Usually I do about 10 minutes. You can do 2 minutes, you can do 5 minutes, whatever you can. Set the timer And let me make sure that we're muted there. Mute. Okay, all people are muted, so I'm not getting background noise on there. So as we do this, then we're going to allow the emotion to come out of us so that we're not going to be stuck anymore. Okay, for those of you who just joined, here's our little diagram. So when you have the emotions, the fear, the anxiety, all the things, they build up inside of you. And if we just wait for them to pass, then they're going to heavy down there and they're not going to actually come out. So I'm teaching you how we can get those out of you. So set a timer. I'll do it for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, preferably 10. 10 is my favorite that I just do all the time. And I'll write, I feel anxious because. This one might be for you, Chris. I feel anxious because this, and I will just write until I feel done. And my intention when I begin is that I have this 10 minutes. At the end of my 10 minutes, I am done with whatever I needed to write. And then I will get rid of that paper. You can rip it up, you can shred it, you can burn it, whatever you want, and get a new paper and be able to write down, this is what I'm wanting to feel. I choose, because agency is such a powerful thing. It's asking, you shall receive, and agency just works in all aspects of everything. So we can choose how we feel, but we do have to deal with the emotions that come up naturally based upon the circumstances. So our body will have a physiological reaction, which will then create an emotion, and that emotion will create how we're going to act, right? If you're having fear and anxiety, you're going to act fearful and anxious. So if we can take that emotion and we can get it out of us, and we can choose, wow, I'm going to choose to live in peace, then you can enjoy that versus having it negate you that way, to have it hurt your body and all that stuff. Okay, so do that. Write. Super important. Feel the feelings. Let yourself feel them. Because if you say, oh, I don't want to feel fear, and you shove it down, it's just going to cause more problems in your body. Okay. Oh, sorry, I need my water. Next one. Words have power. What are you saying to yourself, and what are you saying to your family? What are you saying to your kids? Are you like, oh my goodness, the world's falling apart? Okay, just think about that for a minute. You can pick your own things. You say what resonates for you. Say it out loud if you can say it out loud, or you can just listen and tell me how it feels to you. How is this feeling? Okay, so if I say, oh my goodness, the world's falling apart and I'm so scared and we're not prepared and there's not enough stuff and there's an earthquake coming and it already came once and now we all have to sleep in the same bed because I'm terrified about this, and homeschooling, oh my gosh, that's so much and I just can't do this. And you're saying these kind of words. How does it feel in your body? It feels heavy and it feels overwhelming and it feels like I just can't move forward. I can't see a way out of this because I'm too stuck in this spiral of swirl of pain and of misery. Okay, I'm going to show you this little thing here. So this is kind of a little map of emotion. You can see I'll show it down here and I'll show it up there. Can you both see it? Okay, so at the top you have your highest emotions like peace and gratitude and love and all these things, right? And down at the bottom is fear and shame and guilt and all this. So if you feel this restriction in your body and you feel the restriction in your voice, you feel the restriction and I just can't function, chances are you're in those lower level emotions that are causing havoc inside of you and they're stopping you from being able to move forward and to progress and to do all the things that you need to do in order to take care of your family and your life. So I encourage you to change the way you think and the way you speak. Okay, so we're gonna do that real quick here. So now listen for a second and see if these words resonate with you better and how that makes your body feel. What if I say, oh, I'm okay, I'm at peace. I'm celebrating the fact that I get to spend more quality time with my family. Oh, I look forward to learning with my kids. I love reading with them every day. I know that everything's going to be fine. I've survived everything else that ever happened in my life, and we're gonna do fine on this one too. I'm gonna do my best, and my best is enough. I know that God's watching out for us. And I know that the world is gonna be strong and that we're gonna make it through this and we're gonna pull together and there's gonna be so many blessings amidst all the hard. So many blessings. There are blessings all over the place. So I encourage you to do that too. Write up, what are the blessings in this challenge? Whether it's this challenge or another challenge, what are the blessings I'm finding amidst this? I am loving having my kids home. I'm loving being able to be with them more. And for those of you who are on, I know a lot of you know some of this stuff, but hang on, I'm going to go a little bit deeper at the end for people who want a little bit deeper level as well. of what we can do through this. Okay, so feel the feelings, talking about your words, choose wisely what you say and how you feel it. Okay, because imagine this too. Okay, so say can you see my bird? Okay, got a person. There's a person. Okay, this person has fear inside of them. Okay, you say, "Hi, child, I love you." And guess what? Your fear is now inside of your child. Not cool. So if we as adults and as parents don't take care of the emotions that are going on inside of us, it's going to ooze out, not just on us, but it's going to affect our children, and it's going to affect our neighbors and our coworkers and everyone else is there. Because what you do is you have these emotions and they're here, and what they do is they actually radiate from you. So this is that vibe that you feel when there are people, down there. Okay. When there's people and you feel those things within them, you feel them and you can tell, and it kind of spreads across humanity. So the more of us we can have that are totally engulfed in bringing positivity and light and making sure that we are at a place of peace, we can spread that peace and that love to the people around us and to our communities and to the world, and to help elevate everything. Super powerful. Okay. It's also important that we decide not to be a spreader of the fear. So we talked about this, that fear is the biggest virus that we're dealing with right now. That's the pandemic, more so even than the virus is the fear that is spreading throughout society. So if we can choose that I'm not going to spread the fear, but I'm going to spread the love and I'm going to spread the peace, and I'm going to say, what can I do today inside of me in order to bless the people around me? And that will make a difference. Okay, move your body, sing, dance, exercise, do something, at least 15 minutes a day. Do something that's going to move your body, because anytime those anxious and nervous emotions are in there, physical motion actually helps to move them as well. I find it's really powerful if you can be out in nature, if you can listen to music, or even better, just turn it off and be quiet. You can either pray, you can talk to God, or just be in nature, or there's a simple meditation you could do with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and your senses. So look around as you're walking and be like, okay, there's 5 things that I can see, and I'm noticing. I can see the trees outside, I can see the blue sky, I can see this. 4 things that you can smell, and then things you can taste, things you can touch. And I always do things that I can feel too. So what is the emotion that I choose, that I'm feeling? I can feel peace, and I can feel calm, and I can feel all these things. Okay, all of you are hopping on, write in the comments how you're doing with all the stuff that's going on. Tell me where you're from. Let's just keep the chat going and be able to support each other. And let me know if there's any questions you have that I can help you with. It would be great. And then if you find yourself in the middle of something and you're like, okay, everything is really a lot, and you're feeling kind of that overwhelmed, just take a deep breath, close your eyes, be like, okay, what do I need right now? And listen to your body. Sometimes it's, oh, I need a drink of water. Sometimes it's, oh, I have not been outside for a while, so I need to go outside and get some sunshine. Sometimes it's, oh, I think I need to go hug that child, or I need to go read a book and put down the dishes. Whatever it is, listen to your body and listen to your heart, because your body and your spirit know what you need more than you do. So if we allow that to come in, then we're going to have more peace in our body, because we're listening to what God wants us to do and what our body needs us to do. Okay, our brain wants answers. Brain wants answers. This is important. Okay, as long as you say, okay, I'm going to do all these tools and I'm going to do the things, and then the anxieties will keep popping up. They'll keep coming back up, and they'll be like, still there, because your brain wants answers. What if this hasn't happened? What if my kid gets the coronavirus? And what if my house gets hurt in an earthquake? Or what if this happens? What if? Your brain wants an answer. And so many people think we can't give it an answer. We don't want to dwell on the negative, or what if this happens? We don't want to think about it. But as you shove it down, your brain's going to keep wanting that answer. So if we can give it the answer, then it will know. So yeah, what if someone in my family gets coronavirus? Then we are going to do the same things we do. We're going to sanitize our house, and we're going to drink honey lemon and bone broth, and we're going to use our essential oils, and we're going to do all the things that we do, and use medicines if we need to, and go to the doctor if we need to, and we're going to take care of our family, and we're going to make it through it, and it's going to be okay. So I have an answer. If there's another earthquake, I'm going to gather my family, and we're going to take care of us the best that we can, and we're going to choose to believe that everything's going to work out. and it's going to be fine. And so when you have those answers for your brain, then your brain can relax and be like, oh, okay, I know what we're going to do with that one. So I don't have to be freaking out about it all the time because I know what we're going to do if it happens. Okay, nourishing foods. Nourishing foods equal a clear mind. Okay, if you're eating a bunch of processed junk and really, really fatty stuff because you're worried and you're fearful and anxious and all the emotions come up, and if you're one of those people who eats sugar based upon your emotion, try to eat more nourishing things. Eat more greens. Eat things that have vitamins and minerals and nutrition. Take your vitamins if you have vitamins that you take. Do those things. Drink water, lots of water, healthy water, and all those things that are going to help to strengthen your body and strengthen your immune system and to help you just function better, because you'll have more of a clear head and that fog will kind of lift off if you're giving your body what it needs. Super important. Okay, essential oils are one of my absolute favorites. I'm just going to share with you a few that I have here. This is the one that sits by my desk. It's this little like thing. These are the emotional oils. So we have peace. This one is huge right now to help bring peace to your heart. Love that. Motivate. If you're having a hard time getting out of bed or doing what has to be done and knowing what am I going to do today or how am I going to get through this? Motivate is awesome. Console. If your heart is really heavy, maybe you have people around you who are in that really high risk situation or immune compromised or anything like that, console. To just, it's like a warm blanket around your heart to be like, oh, okay, I've got this. I can do it. Forgive. Okay. Especially if you have any guilt or shame or anything going on with you about, oh, I should have been more prepared and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. Shame, doubt, fear, all that stuff. Use forgive. And then we've got passion. So if you guys have these or any other oils, just get them and use them and breathe them in, because it will make such a difference. Essential oils have a very powerful way of getting directly into your brain and calming your nervous system. So they can get you out of fight or flight really, really fast because they are a super high vibration. This is passion. If you're just working on having more passion, or especially if you're working and creating something, cheer. This is also a super awesome one. I wish I could just, maybe somebody's going to invite smell-o-vision. See, smell-o-vision. That would be so great. And you can put it here. So you'll like put it on your wrist and then you put it back behind your ears right here. And then it actually absorbs into your skin and into your bloodstream within like 30 seconds. And just breathing it is super, super powerful. So breathe. So good. Okay. There's also, these are the other ones that I love. This is the kids kit from doTERRA, and it has 7 different oils in it. And then they have these cute little cards that talk about each one and what they do. So there is Stronger and Thinker and the Tamer. So that's for like a bellyache. You've got Calmer. That's would be what we use at bedtime on our feet. This one is Rescuer. So that's if any kind of something's going on and you want to be more healthy. We've got, this one's Thinker. So this is great for homework time. If you've got kids who are having a hard time focusing because of everything going on. Stronger, Immune Booster. Put that on their feet every morning. This one is Steady. This is a grounding blend, which will help you just to calm down. That's a great one also to use at night or anytime anybody feels kind of flighty and like it's hard to focus. And Brave, when there's anything going on that could be hard and you just need to have that little bit of extra courage to do it. I love the kids kit. I use it all the time because it helps me even to do that. And I just love the scents. They're so, so happy. So that's a little bit on essential oils. If you don't know them, don't have them, need help, whatever, send me a message and I can help you get some oils to get you started as well. Okay, be open to receive. Okay, if you are having a hard time and you're struggling and you're feeling all the feels and it's just a really hard time and people are like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, we're fine. How well does oh, we're fine do you in the world? Doesn't do you much good, because if you don't tell people you need help, then they can't help you. If you were to say, oh, I'm kind of having a lot of worry about this, maybe, like if it was me and you said, I'm having a lot of worry, be, oh, let me help you with that. And I would tell you what I'm telling you now, but you're here, so you're getting that. But other people, if you ask, hey, how's it going? What's up for you in this situation? You might be able to share with them something that I'm sharing with you now to help your neighbor, to help your friend, to help your mom, to help your sister, and someone who might be feeling a little bit more overwhelmed and anxious based upon what's going on right now. So Ask and you shall receive. If you don't ask, you can't receive. And God wants to bless us. He knows what you need before you have need of it. We just have to open ourselves and our minds to be able to allow him to do that help. So open up and tell people what you need. If you need something, say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Can anybody help? Anybody have any ideas? And allow it to be a unifying experience that we have here as we come together to share what we have and to share what we know, and in order to be stronger in everything that we do. It is a very, very powerful thing. Okay, gratitude. Gratitude. Make a gratitude list, make a gratitude journal, do something. Anytime I can feel something and it won't shift or it's having a hard time, I will use my oils, I will breathe them, I will allow them to fill me. I will just ask, what do I need? And a lot of times gratitude can get us out really fast. So I actually have this, it's a mala bead, but just any necklace with beads would work. And we will use it for gratitude. So we went to the doctor, a counselor thing with my son the other day, and just 5 minutes between here and there, I'm like, hey, we're doing all the gratitudes before we get home. So we just take it and one bead at a time. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for technology. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for this and that and this and that. We go all the way around. It's 108 gratitudes. And by the time we're done, it is all shifted. Whether it's a grumpy house or whether it's I'm just feeling stuck, you can add these gratitudes in and it will shift how you are feeling. It'll allow those feelings to release and to really have more hope and joy inside of you. Love that. Okay, if you find that you want to stay in this place of joy and light and you're having kind of a harder time with it, God told me to share this, so I am, but here we go. So this is called my Awesome Life Journal, and I love, love, love this. I have incorporated into it all the different success tools and things that I've learned and taught as mentoring and training into gratitude and success and how you're generous and the lessons that you learned and the things that you find joy in and all those things. And they're all in this book. You can get it on Amazon if you want it. It's a journal and it's super quick, but it will help you get out of fear, because every day you're going to take a moment, you're going to calm yourself, you're going to go through your day, you're going to pull out the gems and the good things and the lessons you learned, and you're going to have that, and it's going to strengthen you as you go forward, which is so powerful. Okay, incorporate stillness into your day. Breathe, breathe. So just right this second, take a step and just breathe. See, even when I try to pack so much into so little time, I talk really fast, and I just need to breathe sometimes. Just set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes. You can put on a happy meditation. There's a whole ton. If you go on my YouTube channel, you can find them on there. There's some meditation for happy life type things as well. You can look on there and find ones that I love, or message me and I will send you some that I super love. Okay, what can you do with kids? When you've got kids who are dealing with this and maybe they don't have the ability to write, like I was talking about earlier, about how to process through your emotions and how to get them out of you, you can ask them. You say, hey, how are you feeling about what's going on? Is there anything going on for you? Are you feeling any worry or any fear? What's going on about this? And just reassure them, you know what, we're in this together and I'm with you and I love you and I will be with you the whole way through, and that it's going to be okay. And they can also process through drawing. Adults can too, or kids. All these things that are good for kids are also good for adults. To give them a paper and say, hey, let's draw together. Do you want to draw a picture for me? Or will you draw with me? We did this yesterday and I was having kind of that feeling of there's so much to do. And so I drew like a little comic thing and I was like, hey, this is me and this is the pile of all the stuff. And so I'm going to choose, and then I drew the comic, and on the next picture, I like set it down and I let go of the whole pile of everything. And then I said a prayer and I'm like, okay, what do I do next? And then I had my list and had one thing on it. It's like, okay, do this one thing. Once this one thing is done, then I would be like, okay, what's next? And then I would do that. If you've seen Frozen 2, I love that song, do the next right thing. When you're in a place of chaos, you just do the next right thing. Because if we think about the 20 million things that we need to get done, we're just going to stand there frozen and paralyzed. We need to say, what is the next right thing for me in this moment, in this time? And as we do that thing, then the next thing will show up and the next thing will show up, and we'll be able to actually get through it in the next right thing. Super cool. Okay, and we talked about that. Okay, massage. Massage is awesome. So as we were talking about how your emotions are inside of you, and they can cause physical ailments. If you have like a tension in your shoulder or tension in your legs, massage it. Massage your feet, massage your hands, get your kids and massage your kids, because it will help them to process through and to release the emotions and the things that are stuck up on top of them that are maybe causing them some fear. If they say, like my one son was saying, Mom, I have a tummy ache, I don't feel so good. And we got to snuggle and we talked about how he might be feeling and what was up for him and all those things. So powerful to be able to talk to your kids and have them be able to communicate their emotions, whether it be through art or through talking, or even just as I would rub their feet, I just have the intention that anything within them that needs to get released is letting go. Because intention is very, very powerful. Sorry, more water. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them. Let me scroll through that really quick while I get my water. Lisa. Okay, yeah. With contention too. Okay, one of the questions was about contention. I think is even just having our kids have that stillness, have that moment of stillness and talk about it. You know what, this is where we're at and this is what we have to deal with. And we all have people and we're all home together and this is just the situation we're in right now. So what is it that we want? And create that with your kids. What is it you want? What do we want to feel in our home? Do we want to feel peace and we want to feel love and we want to feel joy? And if this is what I want to feel, what do I do in order to bring that feeling? Oh, we can talk to each other and we can be kind and we can read together. And okay, this is what has to happen in our home. What can you do to contribute to help our home be a place of peace? Oh, I can unload the dishwasher. I can vacuum the carpet. And allowing them to be part of the planning of what's going to go on, and as well as giving them freedom. So when we first came back home, I'd homeschooled for 6 years, so it was no big deal. I was really excited for it. And the teachers threw all their teacher stuff on me and I was like, I want to do it myself. But it's all good. So we took a paper and I wrote, okay, what are non-electronics things that you can do? What is creativity things you can do? What are nature things that you can do? And I had them each make their own list of the things that they wanted to do, the things that were good for them, that helped them feel alive and joyful and peaceful, and the things that they like. So then when it's like, oh, okay, we don't have technology time till 4 o'clock, then they were able to say, okay, I have ideas of what I can do. If any of your kids like the Elephant and Piggy books, or Mo Williams, what's it does? Trixie? I don't know, Nuffle Bunny, and the Elephant and Piggy books. He has a YouTube thing right now and he's teaching kids art every lunchtime and he's teaching them drawing skills. So we started that today and that was super fun. We loved it. Okay. Teach your kids to listen to their bodies too. When I feel like my kids are all over the place and they can't focus on what it is that they need, or they're like, oh, I got too much and it's overwhelming. I'm like, okay, just take a minute, close your eyes, take a deep breath. What does your body need? And then they're able to say, oh, okay, I need this right now. I need water. I need a snack. I need a nap. Whatever it is, teach them to listen to their bodies, just like you get to learn how to listen to your body, because that will help us to learn. Get in nature. Nature is huge. Go in nature. Take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass. Earth is healing. Nature is healing. And as I stand in the grass, I look up at the sun and I put my hands up and I imagine that the heat and the warmth of the sun comes and it fills me. And as I'm looking to the sun, I'm also looking to Christ, who is the sun, who is the power and the light of everything. And that light comes and it fills me. And I imagine that it just cleanses me and it washes everything out of me that is not helping me. And that it fills me with peace and it fills me with light. And that's super powerful. And even just go out with your kids, read books, lay in the grass, whatever. Get yourself into nature. Super, super powerful. Okay. Thank you for being here. I am going to keep going on. I've got a few more things that are like next level, a little bit more in depth. So go ahead and listen, take what you want. There are things that work for me and truths that I know to be true. So if it doesn't resonate with you, just skip over that one and take what works for you. But I know these to be true and I feel that they are important to share. So I'm going to share them anyways, and you can do with that what you will and do what is best for your family. Okay, as I pray and I ask God, what do you need me to do today? What do you need from me? Or what can I do to help this child? Or what do I need in this situation in order to help make me stronger? What can I do to help my neighbors? Or just in general, God, what message do you have for me today? What do you need me to do? And then another thing that I've learned that is super powerful is that when we're in charity, which is the pure love of Christ, then we have this extra peace and this love. And we can go about life being in charity. And that's the greatest of all, is to be in charity. And so if we ask him, if you notice you're not, and you notice you're getting frustrated or annoyed, just stop and breathe. And you can just say, God, I choose to be in charity. Bring me back to charity. And just like Peter, as he reached his hand and he was sinking and God reached up and he grabbed his hand, it says in the scriptures that immediately, as soon as he called for Christ, Christ was there. And that works in our lives exactly the same way. He is there immediately as soon as we ask him. And just like, I think we talked about this earlier, that when you ask, the angels and everyone is around you and they're waiting, and God knows what you need before you ask for it. The blessings are contingent upon us asking. So be humble and pray and ask and just really allow God to help you in whatever way that you need. He knows the answers. I don't know the answers for your exact situation. I can give you all the tips and tools that I need, but he's going to tell you what to use in that moment for that child or for you or for what you're going through. And it is so important that we learn to have that conduit open with him and allow him to help. Some days I don't even have the words and I'm just like, God, my heart is heavy and you know what's in my heart. And I will just sit there and I'll be like, just tell me what I need to know. And I'll just sit there with my eyes closed and I'll just breathe. And sometimes it takes a couple minutes, sometimes it's like 10. And I will stay there until that peace comes, because he promises us that he is there for us always. And if we will seek him and be still, he will come and he will help us. And that I know. And I ask, how can I help my child? Whatever's going on. And then all the time, whenever the fear pops up, say, that's okay. I acknowledge you. I see that you're there, fear. I see that you're there, anxiety. But I choose to believe. I choose to believe that I'm okay. I choose to believe that God's watching out for us. I choose to believe that everything's going to work out fine. And that choice activates your agency. That choice is your agency. It is that ask and you shall receive. It is God gives you, he desires to give you all the wonderful things in your heart, all the things that are in alignment with him. And your peace is in alignment with him. So I know that he will give that to you. Okay, do something, take care of you. Take a shower, write in your journal, do something fun together. That's even cool. Like, make an idea list. My neighborhood has been doing something so cool. And there's people posting, oh, go stick a stuffed animal in your window. And then as people go for walks, then they can go on an animal hunt. And so it's these finding these ways. I just saw a graphic of some little girl had drawn a snail and she put it up in the window where her neighbor's house was facing. So she would give them a little bit of joy, right? And then the neighbor wrote back, once upon a time there was a snail. And now they're going back and forth and they're writing stories through the window where they're having this social distancing, but they're still being able to have a connection and build that relationship and bring a little bit more joy to each other's lives amidst all of the crazy. Okay. If you have a God relationship that you feel like you talk about these things, but I don't really love them, or I don't feel like I have that connection that I can talk with God. Well, first let's cover this one and then I'll talk to you about that. So this is the difference, okay? God's voice versus Satan's voice. I'll show you down there on Zoom and up here on Facebook. There we go. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. God's voice calms, comforts, convicts, encourages, enlightens, leads, reassures, and stills. Satan's voice obsesses, worries, condemns, discourages, confuses, pushes, frightens, and rushes. So what do we want? It's our choice. This is our world and it's our pick. What are we gonna do? Are we going to hold when that fear and that anxiety and that worry comes up? That's all Satan. It's not God. God doesn't want us to have that. He wants us to have peace and unity and connection and all those things that we can have as we come together in this time of crisis. We can actually do that. Okay, this one is another one I want to show you real quick here. So this is kind of the emotional spin. Can you see that, both of you? Okay, so you've got this line. This is kind of like, I'm just here, right? And up here is cheerful and worthy and freedom and trust and forgiveness and empathy and love and generosity, and all those good things are up here, okay? And then down here we have anger and doubt and depression and worry and blame and sorrow and sickness and guilt and all of this. So every time you're feeling an emotion, you are either moving up the spiral or down. I think of it like a spiral staircase, right? And it goes up, 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 and you can walk up the stairs or you can walk down the stairs, right? So every time when you're choosing to hang on to the fear or the worry or let it fester within you, we're all going to have it. We're all going to experience those things. But what we do with it is our choice. And if we choose to buy into it and go to catastrophizing of all the things that could go wrong, you're walking down that staircase. And as we choose to do things like, hey, how can I help my neighbor? And let me hug my kid a little tighter. Let me be fully present. Let me eat my nourishing foods and go for a walk and dance and sing and do all these things and find joy. We move up that spiral, and it allows us to feel more light and to have more in us. And so then it radiates and it will help the people around us. Okay, so if you are struggling with your connection to God, with feeling like, I don't know if I hear him and I want to know if I hear him, anything like that, this journal is one of my favorites. It's called Lord, I Will Follow Thee. You can get it on Amazon. And inside of here, it has places where you can write down your inspired actions. You can write down, when I get this thought, oh, call my mom, or go take a thing to the neighbor, or do this, do that. You can write it down and you can mark it off, because we're training our brain to capture, to hear the intuition, to hear the inspiration, to hear what God has for us. Sorry, did I show you guys down there? To hear what God has and to do it. And you can mark down that you did it. Then there's a place where you can write down bigger dreams and goals and things like that. So if you had a program or a product or something you were creating, a dream in your heart, something that came up for you, you can write that there. You can write down the things that you have learned from it. And there's a place at the back to write miracle stories. Okay, I love this. And it's so helpful to help people who really are trying to get that connection with God and be able to prove, yes, I can listen. And then especially when things like this happen, and you're like, oh, am I really hearing, do I know what's right? I feel like down is up and up is down and I don't know what's going on anymore. You have proof that I'm listening to God and I'm obeying. And yes, I hear his voice. See all these times when I listened? Okay, so this is the book, Lord, I Will Follow Thee. You can get it on Amazon if you're interested. It's a journal. And then the one I talked about earlier is My Awesome Life. That one is also on Amazon. If that's something that would benefit you, then go for that. Okay, let's see. Okay, this, guys, this is my soul project. My whole quest is to bring people closer to Christ and to help people to realize that no matter what your journey looks like and whatever hard thing you have gone through in your life or are going through at this moment, that God is with you and he is helping you all along the way. And to be able to share stories of people who are. So if you have one of those stories of, okay, I'm choosing to let God lead me, and I've done things that don't make sense to the rest of the world, but in my heart, I know it's right, and I did it. And this is how the blessings that came from it, because I obeyed, even though it didn't make sense. Message me. I totally want to hear your stories. But you can all join. It's totally free. It's called the Consecrated Life Project. There we go on Zoom, and there we go on Facebook. That's the website link, consecratedlife.learnlivefly.com. And the webpage is up. There's a bunch of stuff you can look around on there. There is my happy music list is linked on there, my YouTube list that I will turn on when I'm just having one of those days. And I'm like, I just need to get out of this. And I will turn that on and it will pull me right back to faith and pull me right back to believing, God's got it. We're in his hands and he is guiding us and directing us, and that we each have a unique purpose and we have something to do here, and that we are perfectly in this place, in this time, with the people that you're with, because you have a way that you can help them where you're at in the state. And it's super, super powerful. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit. We're actually going to work through some emotions right now. So anybody who's on, go ahead and give me a comment on Zoom. You can comment. There's a little chat box. In Facebook, put it in the messages. If there's anything going on that you want to work through that emotion, there's actually a process called EFT or tapping, and we're going to do it together here and help to shift some of the stuff that's going on with you. We just tap on our bodies and it will actually trigger our brain to release some of those things that are holding us down. So I'm gonna wait just a second. Let me scroll through here and see what has been said so far. I've got a little bit of anxiety that we can work through. Let's see, connection to God, or maybe that was connection on the internet. Okay, being open to the change, because change can be a little bit hard sometimes, and helping people feel loved. Okay, if there's anything else, oh, my phone is not wanting to stay alive here, so let's see if I can charge my charging cord up there. Hopefully it's charging. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this and pray that my technology will continue helping, because it does that, and we're gonna be good. If there's anything else you guys want to work through, then let me know. Okay, so just follow along and do what I do, and we'll work through this together. Okay, so you tap right here on the edge of your hand. Okay, so even though the world might be in chaos, and even though things seem kind of crazy, and maybe we're feel like we're losing some control, and maybe jobs are insecure, and perhaps in your family, kids are fighting, and people are here, and it's just not working out the way you want, and you're feeling a little bit overstressed and overwhelmed, and there's so much going on in the media, and there's so much going on everywhere. Okay, my light's going weird. I'm gonna do this real quick. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Might be kind of off, but it'll work. Okay, so even though there's fear and there's anxiety and there's stress and there's worry in the world, those of you who are hopping on, just go ahead and tap along, follow what I'm doing. We're gonna get rid of some of the negative emotions that are hanging out and allow our bodies to release them. Deep breaths. And then tap right under your shoulder right there. If you're a lady, it's on your bra line. If you're a man, it's about where it would be if you weren't. Okay, so we're releasing all the fears, releasing all the anxieties, releasing the worry, releasing the stress, releasing the resistance to change, believing that it's okay. We are going to replace that. We're just choosing now. We're choosing light. We're choosing hope. We're choosing joy. We're choosing faith. We're choosing to believe that all things are well and that we will be fine. We're doing our best, and our best is enough. All things are well. Everyone is taken care of. We love where we are. We lift where we stand. We choose to change our emotions and to let go of the things that are bothering us, and to let go of them now, to let go of them quickly, and to let go of them completely. We choose that our minds are open to change, open to adapting. Adapting is easy. Change is easy. We're resilient, and we're strong, and we're courageous, and we're brave. We have all that we need. Everything is taken care of. All the resources that we need will show up in perfect timing. God's got us. We're taken care of. This world is well. All is well. The world is well. We have all that we need, and God is watching out for us. And take a deep breath. And you can do that with anything. With anything where you're feeling something is stuck, you can say, I feel this heaviness in my heart, or I feel a pit in my stomach. And you can tap through it and just go through it and speak whatever it is in your heart, whatever it is needs to come out. Keep speaking it until you're complete. And your body will you'll feel the shift of when you feel done. So say out everything that you need to let go of, and then choose what you want to put in. Tap through the same thing. It's actually activating your body and your system in order to have more hope and have more peace. And it really does work. So just try it and see how you feel about that. Okay, I'd love to do a quick meditation with you guys real quick. So go ahead, just close your eyes for a minute. Take a deep breath. This is another tool that you can use that will help you when you're feeling stressed out and overwhelmed and needing to get back to that place of peace. So deep breath. And put your feet straight on the floor. You can sit on a chair or lay down on the floor. And as you breathe, imagine you're breathing in light. And you're breathing out any of the pain, any of the sadness, any of the worry, and replacing it with the light and the joy. So I want you to imagine you're standing on the ground. You can be in the grass, you can be on the beach, in the sand, wherever it is that it's most beneficial for you, whatever resonates with you. That you're standing there, bare feet on the ground. And as you look up to the sun and you feel the warmth on your face and you feel it rushing over you, that it comes from your head down through your neck, through your whole body, this warmth and this love and this light, and fills every single one of your cells, that they feel awake and invigorated and alive in the light. That this light, this joy, this peace, this comfort will radiate throughout every cell in your body. That it will eradicate any imbalances and any sicknesses, as well as any emotions and any doubt and any worry and any discontent or dissonance that might be in there. That all those things will be flushed out of your system, that they'll go down through your body and out your feet and down into the earth. And that the earth can take them and that can recycle them and turn them into light and joy and peace and beauty. And that all the nutrients that the earth has to offer, all the minerals and all the vitamins and all that your body needs will be absorbed. That your body will be strengthened and fortified. Imagine that the light from heaven comes down. The light from heaven comes down into the crown of your head and it stops in your heart. And as it's in your heart, it just radiates and it swells and all of your cells are growing, strengthening, growing, expanding. You can feel the vibration of your cells as they move faster and faster and faster as they fill with this peace and this love and this joy. And then it radiates out from you, from your body and from your heart, and it expands from you. So imagine this peace that begins within you, fills your body and every one of your cells, expands from you, it reaches out and it fills your home. It radiates from you that those around you can feel love and they can feel peace. They can feel confidence and they can feel courage in your presence. That this light fills your home with a spirit of peace and of joy and of love. And that from your home, it radiates out to your neighbors and to your community and to your nation and to the world. This light radiates and brings peace and comfort to everyone, everywhere. Just breathe it in. Feels so good. So good. Go ahead and open your eyes when you feel good about that. Those of you who just joined, it looks like we've got some new Facebook friends here. So go ahead and go back and listen to that full meditation and allow yourself to fully be filled with light and peace and to spread that around the world as well. And as if you'll guide me or come with me right now in this moment, I'd love to say a prayer of gratitude together, because as we unite and 2 or 3 are gathered together in the name of Christ, He is there with us and He guides us and He strengthens us and allows us to create more good as we unite for Him and we unite for the peace of the world. He is there. So whatever your faith tradition, I invite you to go ahead and join me now in prayer. Thank you. Dear Father, we are so grateful to be gathered here together as thy children. We're grateful for this beautiful earth that we have to live on, and we're grateful for the ways that you watch out for us and protect us. We are grateful for the peace and the joy and the love that fills our hearts. We're grateful for our ability to choose to be part of the solution and to spread peace and love and to counteract all the fear that is in the world, that we have the ability to spread our light and our influence to strengthen others in this time of need. We pray that we will have the courage to do whatever it is that thou asks of us in order to prepare our hearts and our families for whatever challenges may be ahead of us. We thank thee for thy love and their watching care over us and over everyone individually. We pray this time that the Spirit will touch our hearts, touch our homes, touch our families, and touch all those around the world who are suffering, that they will find more joy and more peace and have their hearts softened and their minds opened, that they will turn to thee and find hope and peace that they seek. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Right. Thank you for being here. There's a few people that are still on. People are popping in and out all day long. For those of you who are still here, this is my soul project. It's called the Consecrated Life Project, and it is all about sharing stories of faith and hope and joy and love and helping people to come into Christ and to share those stories so that we can all be strengthened together as we go forward in faith in whatever challenges may come to us. And as you do that, I'm sure it will strengthen your connection with God as you go and listen to those interviews. It will strengthen your connection with God and with yourself and your ability to see and recognize your gifts and what it is that He has for you to do in this world. Thank you for being with me. I know it was a lovely hour we just spent together. So if you're just on, feel free to hop back on and watch the rest and catch it in parts, or go back when you need, or share with people who might need a little hope, a little faith, a little peace, and some tools that will really help them to get through all the hard that's happening in the world right now, and to do so joyfully and to strengthen those around them. So thank you so much for letting me share, and I will see you later.